Welcome to the Carolina Beat, everyone. Atlantic Neurosurgical and spine specialist Dr. George Huffman is in the studio, and today we're talking all about spinal fusion and how it helps us. Welcome to the show, my friend. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about spinal fusion. Explain to everyone what that actually is.
So a spinal fusion is an operation that joins two bones together. So typically a vertebra in the low back or the neck that are diseased somehow, and you join those together with screws and rods and cages and allow those bones to grow together.
Okay, I'm going to take us back a little bit if I can. What were we doing before this type of technology?
Well, spinal fusions have been around for a long, long time, and typically it was just nature fusing the spine together, either by a degenerative process or by lying still for long enough. But then we slowly developed these operations to fuse the bones together, first without instrumentation, and now we use a lot of instruments to hold the bones together while they're growing and doing the thing they do. So let's talk about the surgery itself. Walk us through that and why we would be needing this type of surgery. Some of the reasons why. Sure. So we'll talk about a lumbar fusion because that's one of the more common. And usually it's someone whose bones are unstable, so their vertebra wiggle too much. And what we do is we go in and we place a device between the bones. We remove the disc entirely, put in some sort of spacer to jack the bones up off of one another, and then we put some screws and rods in, and we do that through a minimally invasive approach at Atlantic Neurosurgical. But that allows the bones to be still while the fusion is going on, and the fusion is a natural process of the bones growing towards each other.
Okay, so the whole reason behind this, what I've just gathered from you, is to make the bones come together naturally again. Does that mean you then take out that fusion?
No.
Or the tools?
You could, but that's not done typically. They're typically, once the bones have fused together, you really don't need all the hardware we put in, but we don't go take those out.
Okay, well what's the special type of treatment that one would be using, an appropriate form I should say, for spinal fusion?
Again, it's usually someone whose spine is unstable. They have a process called spondylolisthesis, or they have severe degenerative disc disease. The disc is totally collapsed in one bone on top of the other, and sometimes that can pinch the nerves that go out the side. And so if that's causing pain in the back or pain, numbness, or tingling in the legs, we can do this operation to try to take the pressure off the nerves and stabilize those bones.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what is possible before we get to that. What are the treatments available? I would assume some form of exercise, maybe?
There's a lot of things that people need to do. Spinal fusion should be the last step of the process, and hopefully most patients never get there. Physical therapy, chiropractic, acupuncture, injections, all those things can help get a person to being well again, short of a big surgery.
All right, so what do you call a success story when it comes to fusion?
So someone who comes in and they're just miserable when they're standing and walking, all they want to do is sit and lie. We do the operation, within a couple of months they're usually back, and most people are very happy with this operation.
I would assume we get these type of injuries from a fall or something along those lines, or is it a genetic issue with bone?
It's usually more just a degenerative process.
Really?
And some people are more susceptible to that than others due to genetics.
And I would assume it's more to the older population?
It does occur, but the spondylolisthesis is present in about 1 in 6 people, so it's very common.
All right, well, we appreciate you coming in again. Always
Thanks
good
again.
information. If you want to find out more information about Atlantic Neurosurgical and spine specialist himself, Dr. George Huffman, give them a call. All that information's up on your screen. Back after this short break.